What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Flake Garage. Today we have an update on the trailer that I know you guys seen it here in the background. You probably thought I forgot all about it, but I actually got to do a lot of work on it last year, and I got to record some of that, and I have gotten further ahead with the trailer, have gotten more stuff done to it and everything, but I just didn't have a chance to completely finish that video, so that's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna show you here how the trailer looks right now, how everything's kind of coming along, how the wiring was. I know last video we had, I hadn't finalized the wiring. I did finally finalize the wiring now. So all the lights work perfect. Everything works how they should. We have just a light hiccup on it, which I'll talk to you guys about that here in a bit. But let me just go ahead and turn around and show you here the trailer. Check it out, guys, and here is the trailer in all its glory with a lot of new parts in here, parts you guys haven't seen before, starting with a brand new tailgate. This is just a replacement tailgate. I couldn't find an OEM tailgate that was decently priced. I definitely couldn't find a stamped tailgate that was decently priced. I really wanted to go with a stamped one, but they're just super hard to find nowadays, or people are asking just super crazy prices for them. So I just decided to go with this replacement one just because it was around $120, $130. Looks great. It's brand new basically. Mine had a slight dent, like something touched it during shipping, but honestly, I didn't want to go through the hassle of sending it back. It does look 10 times better than the other one. The other one was an OEM one, but it was rusty. You can tell it had been hit. It had Bondo on it and everything. So not a great look for this. This looks way better. I also have a brand new panel in here. Well, new to me. It's obviously not new, but this panel was sent over to me by a viewer, so big shout out to him. Thank you so much for sending this. We put our little Drexel bolts. We also added a bunch of other little things that were missing. We had basically missing bolts on the tailgate brackets here. We had some missing bolts on the bottom of the bed that hold it into the frame. We had another missing kind of little tie down over there and the one here, and as you can see we have one in there now. So we're replacing lots of little things. Obviously we need some paint still. I need to wash it. I wanted to kind of go ahead and give it a rinse out today, but it's looking a little dark, and honestly it's about to get cold. It's been actually a pretty nice day, but it's about to get super cold. So moving along though, if you can see, we also have some fender flares. We obviously don't have the Steelies anymore. I just went ahead and put my old set of wheels in here. In the meantime, I have another set of wheels that are going to go on the trailer that I think are going to look sweet, that are also going to go on the truck, and we're going to have a nice even look throughout, but that's going to come on a little bit later. Right now, everything here, I think the trailer looks awesome. Some guy actually stopped by as I was kind of doing all of this and told me looks great. But yeah, another upgrade that we did here, if y'all remember, we had a 7-pin connector. We still have a 7-pin, but what we ended up doing is we switched over to a junction box. That's what you see here. We have a whole junction box with a longer cable. This cable was a little too short. If you try to connect it to another truck and the thing wasn't right next to the tongue, it was going to be a problem. So now we have a little extra length to accommodate for those problems. But I'm going to go ahead and explain wiring a little bit later, so you guys can stick around for that. If you want to know how it's all wired, how the wiring looks and everything, I'm going to show you guys that in detail here. And I'm also going to pull my truck to connect the trailer so I can show you that and how it all lights up on the back. Obviously, we don't have any sort of plug right now on the Mazda B2000. I am going to do that next, so we're going to add a 7-pin connector and 4-pin connector to this truck, so stay tuned for that video as well. Now, one thing I do want to call out here is, if you guys recall, this bumper is not the Mazda bumper, right? We adapted this into the truck, and because we adapted this, we have some spacers kind of in between the bracket and the bumper, and honestly, it makes this very flimsy. This bumper is not going to be able to tow the trailer. Even though the trailer is not very heavy, it's just not going to be safe to tow it with this. And we're also missing a place to put our little chains, so in case something came off, it wouldn't fly away. When I put the weight on it, I just put it on right now, it kind of flexed a little bit, which was kind of scary a little bit. I was like, man, I hope it doesn't break it down. But yeah, we are going to have to switch back to the black bumper whenever we're ready to tow the trailer, just because this bumper, again, is not going to be safe in any way. Another thing we're going to do here too is we might have to just go ahead and cut this edge here. I would like to put this that way. Maybe I'll move it. I'll see what I do, but this thing kind of gets in the way a little bit. That thing kind of gets in the way a little bit. You can see down here, I added this for weight basically because this trailer is definitely not the best setup. If you had a regular cab instead of an extended cab like I do here, you had more weight across the axle this is a little bit back heavy. So we added this to kind of help with that, distribute the weight a little bit. But as you can tell, that sticks out very low. So I am gonna have to cut maybe a section of it off down here because the truck is low already. This is kind of low. We might lower a little bit more. That might be hit on places, and we don't want that. We don't want to be getting stuck on anything as we pull in the trailer. So outside of that though, everything else looks great. With the junction box also, we added another little extra perk. We added some underbody lights. Oh yes, you heard that right. I like underbody lights. I have them on my Mazda. I added them on the trailer because we want to look cool with the trailer as we pull it as well. So I'll show you guys that in a bit so you guys can see how it works. But yeah, this is pretty much the update we have today. I think it looks awesome. It looks great with the truck. Let me back up a little bit so you guys can see it a little bit more. I think it looks great. It's gonna look hella cool. We are gonna have to get a bed cover for this, or I like to get a bed cover for this. I know you guys are always asking me what bed cover fits on the extended cab. Do not get the one that you put on the B2000 regular cab because it's gonna be a different size. I think when you put that one on there, it like comes out a little too much. It sticks out. This bed is just slightly shorter, I think, or slightly larger. I don't recall exactly what it is, but there's a slight difference on them. So using this bed cover from this truck on this one, it's just not gonna look right. So I'll have a video on that later, so you guys can stop asking me which bed cover to get for this. I'll go ahead and buy the bullet for you guys and find the correct one and then recommend that to you guys so you guys can put that on your extended cab. But yeah, this is what we have. Thank you so much for watching so far. Let's go ahead and move on to wiring, and then I'm gonna move on to showing you how it all lights up. Let's do it. All right guys, so let's jump right into some of the changes that have happened since the last time we had the trailer here on the channel. Now, when I first did this trailer, I ended up buying just a Hopkins 7-pin harness, and this was a 6-foot long harness. Now, when we did this, because of the distance here, it was actually very tight. It wasn't a problem when it was connected to my Tacoma, but if I wanted it to connect it to any other truck that was maybe a little bit further away, the connection, it was very tight and it wasn't gonna work. So that was the first issue that we had. So I had to go into something that was gonna be a little bit bigger, which I did here with this junction box here. This is a junction box, so that means everything in here, all the wires are separate, and there's a spot for you to connect a new one. I'll open this box here in a bit so I can show you guys exactly what I mean. And then we also have an 8-foot long wire now. So that is gonna give us that extra length we need in case you need to plug this into a truck where the harness might not be necessarily right by the ball, and you can have some of that extra clearance that you need. So that was the first change. Also, this box, super affordable, super nice. Now, the other thing that we had in here, because trailer wiring usually has a 4-pin, and even if you do have a 7-pin, what happens is your brake lights and your turn signals and your hazard lights are all kind of coming out of 2 wires, right? So because most trailers only have 1 light on the back. So you have 1 left light and 1 right light. The way to fix that problem, because the trailer here has obviously independent turn signals as well as brake lights. So in this truck, the circuit here for the light, this is independent of this. So this is your light, this is your brake light obviously as well, and then you have your turn signal up here and then your reverse light. You cannot use a 4-pin to control all of these things individually. So the way to fix that problem is you have to separate. It's called a conversion from a 2-wire to a 3-wire. And that's what we have here. We have a CURT 2 to 3 wire taillight converter. I have the number right there. It is 56196. I'll link you guys on the bottom so you guys can pick it up if you want it. But what this does, it basically separates the connection that you get in. So you get a right side stop and turn, a ground, and a left side stop and turn. And it separates it into a right turn, stop, and left turn. You need to have this in order for you to be able to separate your lights on the back. A little complicated, but that's how it is. That's just how trailers are. Now, we have the OEM wiring here, and I'll explain to you guys what each color wire means. But before I jump into that, let me go ahead and open this little box so I can show you guys how everything there looks. All right, guys, and here we are looking at the box. Again, everything is nice and color-coded. The harness did come with also some instructions. Now, one thing I want to call out on this, if you are like me and you don't build trailers for a living, you probably don't know this. When you look at this, it's a little funky because when you're looking at this and then you're looking at your plug, you're like, okay, everything matches up. This is this and whatever. But honestly, it's kind of backwards. So basically, it's kind of like this. When you're looking at this, the colors and everything are kind of upside down, if that makes sense. I'll put a photo here on the video as well of something that made it make sense that might help you guys. But yeah, it's kind of backwards. When you look at this, actually the auxiliary power, which is the black one, is going to be actually on the bottom instead of the top. So again, something that I thought was interesting. But here we are looking at our box. White is going to be your ground actually, and this black is going to be your 12 volt power. This is going to be directed from the battery, so that's cool. If you want to attach anything, any accessories in here that need power straight up, that'll be a good one. And then we have also the yellow is going to be your reverse lights. The red is going to be your left turn and stop. The green here is your running tail lights. The brown is your right turn and stop. And blue is your electric brakes if you have any. Again, that one we're not going to use at all in here, but the power here directly and everything else we are using because we are separating the reverse lights and the tail lights and everything. So the box, your cables you kind of see here coming down to the other little box, you basically have to connect the input on this box, but what's coming from the vehicle has to be connected directly into the junction box here, and then everything from the harness, from the OEM harness, gets connected to the output over here. So keep that in mind. If you are going to do it this way, you will have to do that. So again, coming from the vehicle, from the towing vehicle, is going to be hooked up over here into the input, and then from here into the harness of the truck. That's what we have here. Everything's plugged in how it needs to be, and then now we can basically close this up, have it nice and secure, and protected. And then this, we're going to put it somewhere down there so it's also kind of protected away from water, hopefully. It looks like it's kind of water sealed, but you know, I don't want to take a risk, and I'm going to put it back there. And then once that's done, I'm going to go ahead and tape this so it looks nice and neat, and we should be pretty much good to go here. Another neat thing that the little package where I bought this kit junction box came with is this little thing which holds your connector. It goes in there so it's not just dangling around, which I thought was kind of cool. Okay, so here we are looking at the wiring, and the colors should be the same if you haven't messed with any of your factory wiring. I believe this should be exactly the same on yours. The 3 wires that you don't have to worry about, maybe if you have some other options, it might do something on yours, but on mine, the black with red on this connector and the yellow wire with some silver kind of dots and stuff on it didn't do anything. They don't control anything. They didn't seem to make anything turn on or anything like that, so those you can put aside. It's not a problem. So green wire with white is your right, green wire with black is your left, red with white is reverse, red with black is running red lights, and then white with green is your stop lights. Now there is a second plug. If you're wondering where is the ground is in a different plug that has kind of this orange and blue ones. That's your ground here. You have a black solid with some silver dots. That is your ground wire. I don't know why it's separate over here. I don't know where exactly it connects inside later on the truck, but that's what I found out. It is a little bit thicker wire. Like I said, just the ground. That is on a separate plug. This is from a Cap Plus. Again, real cool, real simple once you get it all figured out. And hopefully I already did the trial and error for you guys. So, all right guys, so now we're gonna walk through the functions of the lights just so you guys can see how they're all functioning. I'm sorry about the angle here. Obviously my Tacoma is a lot taller, and this low profile 16s and everything make it tilt a lot more than they should. But I'm gonna press the brakes. There you can see the brakes come on. You might see a bit of a hesitation between pressing the brakes and when they come on, and the reason why is because of that little box we had to add, right? Because of the split of a 2 to a 3 wire. That's why you might see that. We also see that when we put the hazards on. The hazards is going to be the actual brake lights instead of the blinkers like you would on a regular truck. And it's just because the signal doesn't know what to do with the hazard light signal. But honestly, this works just as well. As long as somebody sees you, that is blinking, that you're on the side of the road, it shouldn't be a problem. But I'm going to turn that off now. So now if we turn the blinker, we're going to put the right blinker on. We can see that it's blinking on the right side. If we go ahead and take it down, we put the left blinker. We can go ahead and see that the left blinker is going on. If we put on the lights, we're gonna turn on the lights. We see the lights come on. If we take a step on the brake, we see the brake come on. So again, everything is working awesome. Now, let me go ahead and just turn off the lights, and we'll put this on reverse so you guys can see how that works. So if we put that in reverse, you can kind of see the reverse lights come on. And that's exactly what I wanted for this trailer to function like the back of a normal pickup would function. So we're gonna go ahead and take that out. Now, the one little extra thing we did that I wanna show you guys, and it might be hard to see here just because it's not that dark. Turn that on. Hopefully you guys can see the blue in there. I know it's not as dark. Maybe once it gets a little bit darker, I'll show you guys this function too, but we can go through colors. Hopefully the camera's picking some of this up. I mean, it is gonna look sweet at night rolling down the road with this on. So very excited about that. I think it looks awesome. We're gonna go ahead and just turn that off for now. And that's how pretty much the function of the lights are now that it's all wired up. So there you have it, guys. That is the update on the trailer. I think we made a lot of progress, and honestly, this was all done in 2023. I didn't have a chance to edit and put a video together until this year. So this was definitely something that I had planned to do last year and posted last year. I just didn't get a chance to. But let me know your thoughts on it. Let me know what you guys think. I think it looks awesome, but I want to hear from you guys. Let me know down in the comments any thoughts, concerns, ideas that I should throw into this trailer. I'll appreciate them. Otherwise, that's really all I have for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for following. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.